So let's discuss the kinds of sentences. Kinds of sentences. That is very much essential to understand narration. Kinds of sentences. Kinds of sentences. Kinds of sentences. Generally, in grammar book, we find that definition of sentence like this: that a group of words, group of words that makes complete sense, is called sentence. Sense is called sentence. Okay, students, generally and most of the students just memorize the definition like this, that a group of words that makes complete sense is called sentence. Okay, but I think it would be better if you just understand the sentence in the context of your day-to-day conversation. What is sentence? See, I'm telling you, whatever we say, whatever we talk, when we talk, there are so many things that we say. Sometimes we ask questions, and obviously when question is asked, then we need to answer those questions. And sometimes we give order, we request someone to do something, and sometimes we just express something that is not planned. Okay, so these are the sentences. Let me give you an example that would be easier for you to understand. So please, you may go with this, but you also understand the things in a practical way. Let me tell you. For example, your teacher asks, have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? Your mother asks, uh, have you completed your work? Have you completed your work? So these are the questions. Since screen is very much small, so I'm not able to give more examples of questions. But let me tell you that there are so many questions that we ask, and there are so many questions that people ask to us, and all the questions are called interrogative sentences. The questions, simply the daily conversation, so many questions are asked, and that comes in the category of interrogative sentence. That is called interrogative sentence, or simply questions. Okay, so this is the one type of sentence is interrogative. So all questions that are asked are interrogative sentences. One more interesting thing I'm telling you, means all the questions, be it from maths book, biology, physics, chemistry, geography, history, so all the questions that are given in your book, all are interrogative sentences. Okay, the second thing that we need to know, that interrogative sentences are two types. First one is yes no questions, and the second one is WH question. The second one is WH questions. Please pay attention, because these are very much essential to understand narration. Okay, these are the topics that you have to cover in your previous classes, but I am just revising it so that you could get the clear picture of all these things, and it would be easier for you to understand narration. Narration is not a tough, it's not a very big deal, okay, to understand narration, and it's not a very problematic as we think. So please pay attention. First one is yes no question, and the second one is WH question. Okay, which type of questions are called yes no questions? Then questions that can be answered in yes or no. Okay, questions that can be answered in yes or no. For example, are you happy? If I don't want to explain the things, simply I could answer the questions in one word only by saying yes or no. Are you coming to the party? No. Have you completed your work? Yes. Have you invited him? Yes. Can you do this sum? Yes or no. Okay. One more thing. Let me tell you. All yes no questions begin with auxiliary verbs. Okay. All yes no questions begin with auxiliary verbs. You can just take examples. And how many auxiliary verbs there are in English? 23. In fact 25, but only 23 you have to cover right now. I'm telling you: be, is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did, shall, should, can, could, will, would, may, might, must, out, dare, need, used to, out to. Okay. So you will find, you will see also when I will just explain you narration, in that part you will also see. So yes no questions always begin with what? Auxiliary verb. Next one, WH questions. What about WH questions? There are some questions that cannot be answered in yes or no. You need to explain the reason. For example, why are you late? You can't answer this question in this way, that yes or no. Can you say no? So why are you late? You need to give the reason. Where are you going? You can't. Even these questions cannot be answered in yes or no. So the questions that begin with where, how, when, then that is called WH questions. And all these things, okay, these things must be in your mind. Then only you can command over narration. Okay. So in next video I'll discuss assertive sentence.